Oh, I really don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this.
No! No! No!
Okay, let's just get it over with. Hi, welcome back to episode 14 of Classroom Horror Stories. I'm so excited to do this. So excited. This is also the very first long form video I've ever filmed on my brand new camera, so say something nice. I need compliments. I'm very insecure right now. And it's about to get worse. Okay, we're gonna start off with a story from Carter. This kid started off saying, and I quote, "Name's Carter. And this was when I was 12, 13-ish. Just by reading this, I think you're cooler than I'll ever be. Name's Jay." I'd get punched in the throat immediately. First off, some backstory. When I was in 7th grade, I had a prep AP history teacher called Miss G. I don't know what AP history is like. I never made it that far, so I was never offered that class. But it sounds like fun. If you were ever in an AP history class, tell me what that was like. I was busy over here in 5th grade American history learning about the Pilgrims. She was crazy strict and on average would give out 2 to 3 quizzes or tests per week. I mean, listen, if you think about it, a teacher that gives out 4 quizzes per week or 2 to 3 quizzes per week, that's a lot of grading. I think people forget the fact that if you have a class of 30 kids and you give out 3 tests a week, that's 90 tests that you need to grade. Unless she has some like expedited version of grading, which would be incredible. All she's really like, it's great to check to make sure kids are understanding things, but she's creating so much work for herself that it stops being fun. About halfway through the year, she fell and hurt her foot and was healing from it for most of the rest of the year. At the end of the year during ACT testing, myself and a couple others were assigned to her class to take exams throughout the week. During downtimes between exams, teachers typically had games to play or a couple of movies to pick from. No, Miss G had one singular movie about Davy Crockett that she played on repeat. Okay, am I... oh, Jesus Christ. Am I just really old with thinking that that might be nice to watch a movie about Davy Crockett? Let me know, because the gray hairs are not proving to me that I'm getting old, but that might have done it. We probably watched the movie 7 or 8 times. Listen, 7 or 8 times of any movie is already kind of mental. However, when not playing this movie, she was putting her enlarged and disgusting purple foot under the monitor to show us every detail of her foot on the big screen. Oh, sweet Christ. What happened to shame? Do people not have shame anymore? Did that get phased out by Gen Z? I'm so confused. Her class gave me stress. Yeah, it would give me stomach problems, and started my extremely bad sleep habits due to late night studying. More like late night thinking of disgusting purple foot. What are we talking about here? And now in college, nothing has changed, although that more my issue. I don't know what that last sentence might mean, but this story's bonkers. If I had a purple foot, you would never know about it. I would wear Timberland boots that cover my entire leg. My boots would come up to here, and I would teach in one enormous boot just so that you don't see my purple foot. Never mind a big screen. I don't want any part of my body next to a big screen. I'm good. If I'm at a basketball game and I go on the Jumbotron, I am ducking. Absolutely not. Thank you for the stomach pain, Carter. I'm going to think about this for longer than I should. All right, let's do another one. This one is by Haley. She wrote, "Short story, I got bullied by a teacher in 2nd grade." Okay, next. We don't do short stories here, Haley. We do long stories. We do stories that are way too long. That way YouTube can put more ads inside of the stories and they can make more money. Get it together, Haley. I'm just kidding. So, little backstory is that I have severe separation anxiety and have had it for my entire life, so I would cry for about the first hour of school until I would calm myself down. I still do that today. Don't worry. It's normal, and you don't have to worry about it. Don't worry. In second grade, my mom noticed that the anxiety was a lot worse, so she asked me about it, and I told her that my teacher, we will call her Miss B, had been bullying me and asked how she was bullying me. Oh my God, the way this sentence is written. Christ. My mom noticed my anxiety was a lot worse, so she asked me about it. I told her that my teacher, Miss B, had been bullying me. She asked how she was bullying me, and I told her that she made me a cry corner for me when I was going to go cry. She would yell at me and put me in the cry corner and would ask me why I was such a baby about coming to school. I want a cry corner. Do you know how convenient that would be? Then I can stop using the shower. I also had nervous tics of pulling at the under part of my arm, so she would stop her teaching to point it out to the class and yell at me about it, and would also single me out. Is this woman like Lucifer? I'm confused. Why is she a teacher at all? My mom went to the principal's office and demanded that they change my classroom and teacher, and they said no. Great. We're good. All in a hard day's work. So my mom proceeded to ask for the paperwork to take me out of the school. But since they didn't want to lose the funding, they called an hour later saying they had changed my room and the teacher was never punished. What? Sorry if this was a short story, but I love your videos and wanted to write to you. If you would like to hear about all of my bus horror stories, let me know because I have a lot of them. Sure. Why not? Can't hurt, right? Yeah, that's bonkers. I want a crying corner. That'll really help the feng shui in Rania and I's apartment if there's like one corner I'm just like weeping. Thank you for writing in, Haley. Was no one gonna tell me that I was completely out of focus that whole time? God, this new camera's killing me. All right, let's do another one. God, I really hope I wasn't out of focus that entire time. That would be a really tough video to watch. All right. This one is by Aya. Aya. A-Y-A. Hello, A-Y-A. How are you? Can you hear the dog snoring in the back? She's like the little train that could. Okay, I want to start by saying I love your videos and I think you're an exceptional teacher. Keep going. Also, if you post this online, please keep my name anonymous. Oops. So for some background details, I live in Canada, and this happened when I was in SK. What is SK? SK. Canada, SK. Canada School, SK. What is SK? What is SK? Levels of education. Senior kindergarten? Senior kindergarten. Senior kindergarten. What is that? Okay, so there's junior kindergarten, JK, and senior kindergarten, SK. That's awesome. Canada, nice. Okay, so this was when I was in SK, so some of the details are a bit fuzzy. Yeah, I don't remember anything from kindergarten. I don't remember anything from high school. What am I talking about? It was a warm day. This person goes, the details are a bit fuzzy. It was a warm day. Are you joking? You remember the climate? What are we talking about? It was a warm day and all the kids in my class were playing when the announcements came on saying that we were in lockdown and that it was not a drill. At least they kept it simple and calm. Our teacher closed the blinds and locked the doors. We had two doors, one leading outside and one going to the hallway. Some of the kids started crying, fair, because they were scared, and we heard banging coming from outside the school, and more kids started to cry. I'm not sure what happened next, but the lockdown was eventually lifted after roughly 30 to 45 minutes. We're just going to skip over that part. Well, okay, whatever happened there. A few weeks later, we learned that some random guy came and was banging on the front doors, saying he was a child's father. When the office asked him whose dad he was, he couldn't provide a name. Honestly, sounds like he's telling the truth. Just go ahead. Couldn't come up with a name? He didn't think he'd get that far? Keep in mind, he wasn't inside the building yet. The officer told him to leave or they would call 911. He didn't believe them, but became more desperate. He started banging on the doors louder and demanded for a child in JK, junior kindergarten, or SK, senior kindergarten, so he could make a human sacrifice? Was this a persuasion tactic? That's how he's gonna, succeed in this plan? Apparently, the office called the police. Apparently? Of course they called the police. Well, that's what you do when someone requests a kindergarten sacrifice, is you call the police. And as soon as he heard them, he ran away and didn't come back. I'm in grade 7 now and still wonder to this day what would have happened if the office had let him in. Maybe you would have gotten the rain you needed. I don't know. Thank you for taking the time to read this, and I truly do love your videos and would love it if my classroom horror story was on one, but no pressure either way. Well, you're gonna love this. Let me hold your hands while I tell you this. All right, let's do one more. People will send me one that's like literally one sentence. Like, okay, it's just gonna be a short episode. All right, this one is from Sophie in the UK. Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm from the UK and I love your videos. Thank you, Sophie. I know this might not be good enough to go into part 14, but please feature it in part 14 or 15. Sophie, you're not gonna believe this. Are you sitting down? When I was in year 8, oh, UK schools, year 8. There was this teacher, let's call her Miss H. Hello, Miss H. I feel like I'm not going to like you, but this is me judging a book by its cover. One day, I got pulled into a meeting with my bully, M, my best friend, A, and my other friends, B and K, otherwise known as Burger King. She pulled us into this meeting because apparently something happened between all of us that clearly I didn't know and hadn't happened because I was confused. Did I read that wrong? She pulled us into this meeting because apparently something happened between all of us that I clearly didn't know had happened because I was confused. You did read that. You spelt that right. She was pressuring me to quit the act when I said I didn't know why I was here. That's a good start. Let's just berate them until they give you evidence of something. She was asking everyone in the room if they knew why they were here. Apparently, some sort of fight had happened between us, which again, I was confused. I didn't know anything about this, but she was pressuring me like crazy. When she got to asking me what happened, she asked about M, her friend. She asked if I had started anything between us, and I said, quote, "No, I never said anything about her. She just bullies me." Not the friend, the bully. How am I even... I can't read, I think. M is the bully. We know that now. You already probably knew that. I am stupid. No, I never said anything about her. She just bullies me. But then M said that I start conflicts and try to lie to get my way. And then started screaming at me full pitch. M was smirking in the corner. Miss H was screaming at me. Miss H screaming at me was a huge problem since I have autism and I had sensory issues regarding noise. Yeah, why is Miss H screaming at anyone, never mind somebody who has sensory issues? Can you hear the dog? Are you kidding me? Is this a joke? She's snoring like the war just ended. As soon as I got out of there, I went to the office and was in tears to tell them to send me home because my phone was dead and I couldn't call my mom to tell her what happened. I had sensory overload and my clothes felt like sandpaper, which often happened when I had sensory overload. Is that a thing that happens a lot with people who have sensory issues? Ugh. That sounds terrible. I kept pulling at them, trying to take them off, and A is her best friend. A is the best friend. A chased me and just hugged me because she's a good friend. 10 teachers walked past us and only one of those actually was concerned about what was going on. So then we finally managed to get me calmed down and stop crying and having a meltdown. I never go near that teacher at all, despite being in an older year and now have full support of my anxiety and autism. That's fantastic. I'm so happy for you, Sophie. That's great. I hope this is good enough to be in part 14 or 15. I love watching your TikToks and videos on YouTube. I find them entertaining. Best regards, Sophie. Sophie, best regards right back to you. Thank you for writing in. I appreciate that. So, here's something I need to tell you all about. We saw some really bad teachers in here. I'm trying to find good teachers. If you are a good teacher or you know a good teacher, I want them signed up for my contest. americasheroescontest.com. I'm giving away $5,000 during March. We're going to do another contest in May. Regardless of when you see this, make sure that your teacher sees this. And if you are someone who knows a teacher, send it to them so that they can get themselves signed up. We reward teachers. These were painful to read. Honestly, I think what we're learning now is that I made this series thinking that the majority of these stories would be teachers writing about stuff that kids do, but it's way more common globally that teachers are acting crazy. So if you're a student and you have stories about teachers acting crazy, send them into fishinforcloud@gmail.com so we can read them in part 15. This was terrible. I hope we never do this again. But yeah, see ya.
Boopity bop, that's the end of the episode. I sing because YouTube likes to call me out on copyright. See ya next time. Doobity dooby doo boop.